right. So I finally got my shit to work. So we're actually going to take a look at two builds that make. I'm not going to make the second one, but I'm going to show you the first and the second one, and you can make edits if you would like. I personally decided that I'm going to go with a point this year, and I'll kind of run you through it. I think this is the best point that you can probably make in the game, personally. It's a two-way, three-level playmaker. It gets everything of substance, anything that you care about. The only thing that people will feel like a little frustrated with is that it might not get all of the dribbling that you're looking for. You can change it if you think that you don't need as much dunk. You can always like increase your ball handling. If you don't need as much perimeter defense, like you can do whatever the fuck you want. Personal. I'm just gonna tell you off rip because of like who I am as a person. I wanted a proper all around guard that could score at every level, that could play make at every major point of the game and has decent enough pass accuracy, and could be consistent in all of those areas. So dunking, I went with the 89. The reason why I went with the 89, some people were saying like, okay, go 88, and then you put your first +5 on there. You take the attributes you save, and you can put it on somewhere else. For me, there is nowhere else of substance that makes sense for my particular build that I made. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your 5 cap breakers when you hit starter 3. You're going to put 4 on your driving dunk. You're going to then get gold posterizer because you have enough vertical. I've already accounted for that. You're going to get gold posterizer. So you have what you need. The only thing is you need the extra 4 points to get you to that 93. That's also going to unlock all the next tier, I believe, of the that animations for like posterize or the dunk animations that are contact dunks. You're then going to take that 1 point that you did not use and you're going to add it to your mid range, and that's going to give you Deadeye. And then this is actually going to complete like the trinity, if you will, for like having all of your shooting badges on at least gold. And Mini Magician isn't going to go up, but we don't really need Mini Magician. It was just, I was basically going to make this build at a 6'4". I went down because I was like, at this point, if I'm already going to be 6'4", what is an inch difference? I'm just going to raise the wingspan, and hopefully that's enough, especially when you look at the defense that I have on this build. Went with the 83 3-point because I want to be shooting consistent, and I felt like, okay, if you're getting limitless on the 83, that should be enough to shoot consistently. If they're expecting that you might be taking some long range shots from that deep, I felt like 83 would be enough. I also felt like the shifty shooter on gold triggering would be enough to kind of offset any of the issues that you might have with that 83. Personally, I went with the 89 pass act because it gives you that versatile visionary on silver. I think you have to have it at that. I'm a few points off from some of the other places, but I felt like 89. I believe Tyrese Halliburton's pass style last year was at 89. Do I think that that's going to be the one that I go with this year? No, maybe not. But just having your pass accuracy like increase is going to increase the speed in which your pass goes in general. And so it's just better for you to have it. And then hitting that threshold of like being able to throw better, more, fancy passes or like alley-oops and stuff like that. It's a better thing to have on a point guard. You can't be a point guard and not be able to pass effectively. So I didn't want to have any weaknesses there. A lot of people want ball handling. All right, cool. Like you can go and be whatever type of guard that you want. I'm personally going to go with the 85 ball handling. Some people went 86 because you get the ankle assassin. I'm going to be real honest with y'all. When I made this build, I was cutting every ounce of extra fat that I possibly could. If I have to weigh out being able to get concretely all of the attributes and skills that I possibly could have on this build versus adding the 1 point to this ball handle and getting the ankle assassin on silver, I had gold ankle breaker last year, and I very rarely had this trigger. You could, if you really, really wanted to, go down. Now, keep in mind, I believe that actually it doesn't reduce your slippery off ball. Actually, well, you'd have to lower You would have to lower maybe like your free. Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I'm gonna be real honest with you. As somebody who plays like these game modes, like every game mode with this build, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna lower that. I'm not gonna lower that. So I just don't think it's valuable. I built the first 4 cap breakers to go in on offense if you needed it. I still need to test the build out in like rec and then with the new proving grounds just to see, okay, like, do I actually need to push this up further? Because if I don't need Deadeye and if I don't need the driving dunk, I can keep this as is. I can put my perimeter up to max and I'm going to get the challenger. So I'm going to get challenger on legend and then I'm going to get on ball menace, I believe, also on legend because I'm going to get the. So we have the 84 that we need and then the 96, then 99. So 86 is what you need for the legend on ball menace, which is basically clamps and a few, I think a few other badges that are kind of like mixed, right? You're going to be able to get the pick dodger, I believe, on Hall of Fame. I want to say it goes Hall of Fame is what we're going to get it. I don't think we quite get it on Legend, but we also don't really need pick dodger on Legend when we have like all this other stuff. We are not going to be able to get immovable enforcer on this build. Sucks. I had it on a 6'7" guard last year when I had a 6'7" point guard. I loved being able to play the defense that I did. The sacrifice that I had made for that, though, was not having any driving dunk last year. One of the things that you'll note is that if you don't have any driving dunk, it's harder to consistently get it. Unless you have a specific layup package. In my case, I went LeBron last year, and LeBron's was so freaking consistent that it did not matter that I didn't have any dunk because he would jump like I'm not even joking, like 20 inches into the air, flick the ball up, and then you would have to jump and try to like jump into my player model in order to even like try to contest the layup, and it was green. This year, I decided to avoid going the layup route because when I even like tested it on like some of the lower layup percentages, it seems vastly harder to do layups. And with some of the reworks and more attribute points being able to be given to bigs, I want, like, if I'm going to go for like a quick drop, which I don't know if it exists this year, but if I'm going to go for any sort of like short dunk, I would rather just like guarantee I'm going to get the point or be able to dish it out, which is also why I push for that pass accuracy to be as high as it is. Cause I'm like, okay, if you try to contest it, I could hit the step back. Okay. I could hit the 3 consistently. Okay. I could drive dunk. Okay. I got the 86 for the lightning launch and I can put that on the +2 or the push it past my limit so that way I could get it on Hall of Fame lightning launch. Like, this becomes an extremely deadly build in every area. It's an ISO beast. It's a 5v5 beast. It's just a really nice, well-rounded build. You don't have to go this high on the defense. I never really had an opportunity to make a lock on 2K that I personally enjoyed playing with. I just didn't like it. Whether I just didn't have enough 3 ball or I didn't like the driving dunk, like there was just aspects to it that I didn't like. With this build and with the freedom that they've given with some of these smaller builds, I feel so nice on defense. Like I feel like I know with, although I'm 6'3", I got 6'10" wingspan. I'm gonna be in those lanes, something mad. And I'm not slow. I got the 86 speed. I like that is dope. Having 86 speed, although it's not as fast as like, okay, like 95, some locks are gonna go like 92, 93 or whatever. Once you really get into the nitty gritty, we're gonna look and see what the actual like motion styles and stuff like that are like. Some people are going to be running the wrong motion styles. Even if they are running the optimal motion styles, 86 speed should be absolutely enough to get where you need to go. And if you're out of position as the point guard, like you're not the person that really needs to be back on defense the same way that maybe like your power forward, your small forward need to be, or even like your center, right? You're focused on perimeter and you're focused on stopping them from going up. by having the perimeter defense and the steal, if they try to go up for layups and dunks on you, especially once you get those cat breakers, like, bro, I'm gonna have it on legend. I'm gonna have glove on legend, and it's not gonna be fun for them. It's not gonna be fun for them at all. So it's literally, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm like, it's a possibility of like, okay, we could go first set on our driving dunk. Second set, we could go 92. So, or we could add 2 to this. We could get the 96 perimeter menace, right? We also would get the challenger on Hall of Fame. We might go one more, get the pick dodger, just knock that out. Then we could also upgrade and get the freaking 96 or the Hall of Fame glove. Do we need Hall of Fame glove? No, but it is a nice kind of like, okay, we can kind of mix it up. But I don't know. We'll see. I might, for real with you, go again, like I said, 89. The do the first on the offense, max this perimeter defense out, and then what I would end up doing is do the +1 on the glove, so that way I get half glove, half interceptor, and I still have my offense knocked down. And then once I get the final one, which will be a while, I can choose of like, okay, am I comfortable with the glove that I have now? Am I getting the steals that I want? Am I like playing the defense the way that I want? And I might just go ahead and boost up my speed to 91. Because agility at that point isn't like as critical. I just need to kind of feel it out and see. But I don't know. I would be giving up literally legend badges for that. Now, I'm going to go into talking about another build that is not as perfected, if you will, versus this one. This is it's the same exact design, except for it is less focused on being a point guard. Oh, let me go back. We need to edit the build. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have a little bit less of the driving dunk just because we have less attributes. We're still going for that same mid-range, right? We are getting that 83 3-point so we can still shoot consistently. A little bit less pass accuracy. We're still hitting all of kind of like those key thresholds. And then we're going for a balanced amount of defense. So we're gaining a bit of size. We're gaining 3 inches of size, but we're losing a lot of the critical defense, but we are gaining some rebounding potential with that 60. And we're also losing a little bit of the agility. So in the vert, so we're losing some of the offensive potential, but I think you can also make this work relatively well, especially if you're not willing to cave on height. I would argue this, I wouldn't really run this as a point personally without sacrificing maybe something on like the defensive rebounding and then pushing the actual pass accuracy up to at least at 80, potentially 85. I know some people can make it work at 80. That's perfectly fine. Some people can make it work here at a 71. I just personally don't like it. And I don't like that you don't get like versatile visionary. I don't like that you don't at least get that bailout on bronze. Just for me, is it a perfect badge? No, but I wouldn't really sacrifice that as a point. But yeah, those are my 2 builds. I spent majority of it talking about my first one, but I just wanted to give something solid in 2 different areas. I'm going to make a center. I'm going to try to make a stretch first, because when I get into my paint beast, listen, I know a lot of people like to talk that ish. In this builder is what I do. Again, this one is not perfected. You can move it around. You can figure out where you want your cat breakers. You can figure out what makes sense for you. The other one, that thing is about to be running all year. It's not like I don't see a point in the year where I'm not going to be running that build. And it's going to be some problems on that court, I could tell you. And I just, as somebody who loves playing defense, but really I never had that steal or really block rating last year because of like I was a 6'6" last year. I had to sacrifice. No, I had the 6. I had 10 builds for real. If we want to really, but 6'7" was my all arounder. But yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing. I appreciated you taking the time just to hear what I have to say. I'm going to be making more content like this and talking just in general about stuff that I think is noteworthy or of importance and as far as 2K is concerned. So thank you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.